Let me read this again. And I looked, and lo, a Lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their forehead. These are the children of Israel and the tribes of Israel. And I heard a voice from heaven, and as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of harp with their harp, and they sung as it were a new song for the throne. And before the four beasts, we went back to Ezekiel chapter 1, Ezekiel chapter 10, Revelation chapter 4, and these four beasts here was the beast of Revelation chapter 6, this four, is the spaceship, four beasts, and the elders, and no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. These are they which were not defiled with woman, but they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whatsoever he goes. These were redeemed from among men, being in the first fruits unto God and to the Lamb. And in their mouth was found no guile, for they are without fault before the throne of God. And I saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach unto them that dwell on the earth, and to every nation, and kindred, and tongue, and people, saying with a loud voice, Fear God, and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment is come, and worship him that made heaven and earth, and the sea, and the fountains of water. And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen. This is going to be the United States, is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the fine wine of the wrath of her fornication. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man, listen at this here, any man worship the beast, in other words, worship the United States of America and his image is his law called democracy, and receive his mark in their forehead or in his hand. You know when they put the ink in their hands, and the forehead is in the mind of the peoples who received and obeyed the will of this man and abandoned the law of Moses. This is what God is revealing to us. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture, and to the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. These are the ones that taken on a democracy who came from the children of Israel and worship this law of democracy. Honestly, this is the sin. This United States opposed up all these people over there. And they spoke of their torment, ascended up forever and ever, and they have no rest day or nor night, who worship the beast, who is the United States, and his image, and whosoever receives the mark of his name. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God, which he gave to Moses, and the faith of Jesus. And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, Write, blessed are the dead which die in the Lord from henceforth. Yes, said the Spirit said the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors and their works to follow them. In other words, these are the ones who didn't take on the law of the marks. It pays to be right. And I looked, and behold, a white cloud, and upon the cloud one sat upon the sun, sat like unto the Son of a Man, having on his head a golden crown, and in his hand a sharp sickle. I'm gonna let this hymn go after this. And another angel came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud, thrust in the sickle, and reap, for the time is come for thee to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. And he that sat on the cloud thrust in his sickle on the earth, and the earth was reaped. And another angel came out unto the temple, out of the temple, which is in heaven. He also having a sharp sickle. And another angel came out from the altar, which had power over fire, and cried with a loud cry to him that had the sharp sickle, saying, Thrust in thy sharp sickle, and gather the cluster of the vine of the earth, for her grapes are for the ripe. And the angel thrust in his sickle unto the earth, and gathered the vines of the earth, and cast it into the great wine press of the wrath of God. And the wine press was treaded without the city, and blood came out of the wine press, even unto the horse bride, by space of 1,600 furlongs. I'm going to see what I can get out of chapter 16, Revelation chapter 16, and I'm explaining to I go. I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels, having the 7 last plagues, but in them is filled of the wrath of God. And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with blue fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, which is the United States, and over his image is the democracy, and over his mark is the vote, law of vote, and over the number of his name stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of God. And they sang the songs of Moses, the servant of God, and the song of the Lamb, and the sign of the Lamb, saying, Great and marvelous are they. Thy works, Lord God Almighty, just and true, and thy ways, thou kings of saints. Who shall not fear thee, O Lord, and glorify thy name? But thou only art holy, for all nations shall come and worship before thee, for thy judgments are made manifest. And after that I looked, and behold, the temple of the tabernacle of the testimony in heaven was open, and the 7 angels came out of the temple, having the 7 plagues, clothed in pure and white linen, and having their breasts girded with golden girdles. And one of the 4 beasts gave unto the 7 angels 7 golden bowls full of the wrath of God, who liveth forever and ever. And the temple was filled with smoke from the glory of